So this professor is about to destroy his entire career and maybe his own life because of one Kolanut. Let's just call this man Dr. Keside Okechukwu. He's a 45-year-old literature professor at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. Now, Keside is that kind of man who has his feet in two worlds. Born into a respected Igbo family, son of a village elder who used to sit at the front row of cultural gatherings, but he also studied in London, came back with the air of an intellectual, talking about Shakespeare and modern theory. So in his daily life, you will see him lecturing students on Chinua Achebe in the morning, then attending traditional ceremony in the evening without even blinking, bruh. His normal world is simple. Classes, research, endless faculty meetings where people argue about funding. You know these things. He's respected, but not yet at the peak. Never blew like that. And that's where his ambition comes in. He wants to be head of department. That seat means power, prestige, more say in the university. The only problem, his main rival is Professor Adeze Nwako, a woman with a sharp tongue and a sharper brain. And she leans heavily into tradition. Now here's where things get messy. Every year, the faculty holds an opening Kolanut ceremony. It's very sacred. The Kolanut isn't just food. It's a bridge between the living and the ancestors. A way of calling blessings down on everyone for the new academic year. That day, senior lecturers gather in the hall. Papa Chukwu, the groundskeeper, hovers somewhere at the back like a watchman of tradition. And everyone bows as the ritual is performed. But Keside, he decides to gamble with the gods. He knows the blessed Kolanut should go to Adeze. Her family has strong ancestral ties and tradition favors her. He's thinking, if she gets this, then the elders and everyone will see her as the chosen one for the department headship. So in his brilliant, modern, rational mind, he says, it's just a nut, nothing mystical, symbolism, that's all. So he switches it. Right there during the ceremony, that Mumu puts away the blessed Kolanut and replaces it with the one he bought from a market woman earlier. Clean, fresh, ordinary. He thinks nobody will notice. He thinks it doesn't matter. He thinks that he shall pass. But you see that single act, it opens something nobody is ready for. At first, nothing happens. The ceremony ends. People clap, people pray, everybody goes home. Keside smiles to himself, convinced that his plan is working. But within days, strange things start creeping into campus life. Students wake up screaming from nightmares. They say they see shadows at the edge of their rooms, watching. Some refuse to sleep in their hostels, huddling in groups at night. If you have been in this situation, you will understand. Lecturers start snapping at each other over minor things, paperwork, classroom space, exam timetable. College they burst out anyhow. And then the paranoia spreads like smoke. Colleagues who used to hail Keside with Professor Good Morning now look at him like he's hiding something. His brightest students suddenly lose their spark. Campus that used to be heavy with life. The air itself now is looking like it's suspicious. One afternoon, Papa Chukwu corners him near the staff quarters. The old man's eyes are sharp. He tells him, Professor, the ancestors are restless. Someone played with sacred things. Keside laughs it off, saying, Papa, this is 21st century, not ancient shrine. But inside, his chest turned tight. Then comes the real twist. Professor Adeze calls him into her office. She shuts the door, looks him straight in the eye and says, I saw you that night. You switched the Kolanut. Keside almost faints. But before he can deny it, she leans closer and whispers, since that day, voices have been following me. They keep saying, punish the deceiver. And that's when Keside realizes, this one is not ordinary tension, no. Something unseen is moving through the faculty. From there, it only gets worse. Students begin accusing lecturers of plotting against them. Lecturers accuse each other of theft, sabotage, betrayal. The staff WhatsApp group now becomes a battlefield. By evening, people are storming offices, pointing fingers, demanding confessions. It's madness and chaos at the same time. Then Keside, the so-called rational man, is at the center. He notices the whispers just aren't around him. They are inside his own mind too. Late at night, when the power cuts and NEPA leaves the campus in darkness, he hears voices sliding across his walls. Some nights, he'll wake up drenched in sweat, convinced that somebody is standing over his bed. The second twist now hits when Keside discovers that everyone present at that ceremony is being toyed with. Not just Adeze, not just him. All of them. Each one is hearing whispers, but with different messages. Students are whispering that lecturers want to fail them. Lecturers are whispering that students are plotting riot. The thing is like the community has been poisoned by suspicion. Now here's the darkest revelation. The spirits are not just simply angry at KCD, they are testing everybody. They want to see how easily trust can be broken. How quickly unity collapses when deception enters the sacred. KCD fight and die. He tries to stay logical. He writes notes, tries to map out psychological mass hysteria, tells himself this is explainable. But when colleagues start bringing machetes to meeting, when two students nearly strangle each other in class, logic collapses. Finally, he goes back to Papa Chukwu. The old man doesn't even need explanation. He says, you must confess and you must cleanse. This thing is bigger than your ambition. KCD resists, his pride screaming. But then he sees Adeze one night, standing outside in the faculty building in the rain. Her face is twisted like she's listening to voices that only she can hear. And KCD knows it has gone too far. So now the stage is set. The university calls an emergency faculty meeting to deal with the unrest. People come with sticks, knives, hidden in bags. Eyes are wild, like peace of mind no day. Accusations are flying like bullets. And KCD, yeah, you see, he's standing there sweating, knowing the truth wants to crush him now. Because the spirits are not waiting any longer. And Nadia, the real battle starts. The meeting hall is beaten with accusation. Lecturers shout over each other. Students are crying in corners, weeping. Papa Chukwu stands silent at the door, like a sentinel between worlds. KCD rises. His legs are shaking, but his voice cuts through the chaos. I switched the Kolanut. The room freezes. Every eye turns to him. Some people are burning with rage, others with vindication, most of them with fear. I thought I was clever. He continues, his voice is cracking. I thought tradition was just theater, that the sacred was negotiable. Professor Adeze steps forward, and for a moment, KCD thinks she will strike him. Instead, tears stream down her face. The voices told me to destroy you, she whispers. Every night they scream for your blood. They told me everybody was plotting against me. She admits. Students, colleagues, even you. Around the room, others begin confessing. The terrible whispers they have been hearing, the paranoia that's been eating them alive. The spirits haven't just punished KCD. They have shown everyone what happens when the sacred is treated as a game piece. Coconut for everybody yet. Pachuku finally speaks. The cleansing ceremony is tomorrow. Dawn. Every person here must attend. That night, KCD does not sleep. He sits in his office surrounded by books that suddenly seem meaningless and writes a letter of resignation. Not just from his ambition, from his arrogance. When dawn breaks, the entire faculty gathers at the shrine. The real Kolanut, still sitting in KCD's desk drawer, is now returned. Prayers are offered. Blood is of course spilled. But as they leave, KCD catches his reflection in a window. His eyes are different now. They are older. They are haunted. Some knowledge, he realizes now, can never, ever, ever be unlearned.